So now, in continuation of the previous class, uh, we have been talking about previous commands, the PWD commands. We talked about, we also talked about the CD command, changing directory. We talked about ls, listing. We've talked about the clear command. So right now we are looking at the touch command that will enable us to create a file. So on this terminal, on this site, ALX is asking us to access your sandbox and change your working directory. So let's do that. Then we now create an empty file. So to create an empty file, as we all know, let's first of all practicalize what we have asked. CD, let's change our working directory to /root.
Sir, we are
CD,
not seeing your we're
okay,
not seeing your sandbox. We're seeing ALX.
okay. So can you see it now? Can you see it now?
Yes, sir, I can see
Okay.
it.
So to change it to the root, you now say /root. So you are now in the working directory. Let's check by using pwd. So now we are now in the working directory. Okay. So we want to create a file inside this working directory. Let's go back a little bit so that we can see the difference of what we are doing. CD slash dot dot. We talked about CD, how to go back to the previous directory also. So let me clear the screen so that I can start practicalizing all the commands we have been using. pwd. So you can see that we are not in the root directory, we are in this current slash directory. So now we also make use of cd. We're asked to make a cd command, but first of all, ls, let's check what we have in this. We can see what we have here. So now let's now change our working directory. Let's change to the root, the space, and say root. So let's check what we have in this root. So you see that we have what we have in the two different directories are different. You see, this is different from what is in here. So now we are in this working directory. We are now asked to create this file, then create an empty file. That means nothing is inside the file, that we should create it. Okay, so let's now create this empty file. How do we create it? We create it by making use of what? Touch. So what is the name of the file we have been asked to create? So cool. So cool. I think we have so cool already, but we can still create. So we have created so cool. Let's list. Let's now ls to check if so cool is in our directory. Ls. So we now have so cool in our directory to replace the previous one. Okay, so we now have so cool. Okay, so let's continue. So we have been able to create so cool in this directory. We have been able to create so cool. So now what other command? Let's go back to the Google Doc. let's go back to the Google Doc and look for the list of what we were doing. Okay, so here now we have been able to treat touch. So let's come down to CP. CP. What is going to be the functionality of CP? We say it is what? Who can remind me? CP is what?
Copy file, sir.
Okay, copy
File.
file. Please,
File.
I need others to also engage in our interaction. So copy file is what we have here. So let's copy a file. Let's copy a file. And how do we copy a file? Now look at what we have in this directory. We have my new school, practical school.
Sir, no, sir, it's not showing your this thing, sir.
Your screen, we're not seeing the directory you're showing us.
Okay, so sorry. So now we inside this directory, this current directory, we have all these things. Now, anytime you see this color, this green color, this blue color, just know it is what? Directory. Anytime you see white, you list and you see white, just know it's a file. So you can only put a file inside a file and you can put a directory inside a directory. So here now we are being asked to move. Let's move this inside this. Let's move new school inside practical, and let's see what we will have. Okay, let's see whether we have any practical question for moving. Change your working, then copy. Okay, let's do a practical example on copy. CP, copy, yes. So now to copy, we have to first of all create this file. And what is the file? School to TMP. School to TMP. They say we should copy this school. They said we should copy this school to what? TMP. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir, yes,
So
sir.
you have to copy this school inside this TMP. This is a directory. How do you know it's a directory? Because of this word slash it has. That makes it a directory. So we want to copy this school inside this directory. How do we do that? We have to first of all create school and also create what? TMP. But let's go and check if we already have school and TMP. We already have school and we already have what? TMP. We already know how to create school. So now let's move it. Let's copy. How do we do it? Just say CP.
Sir, your screen is still showing ALX.
So CP school school. Sorry, I've been asked to copy words. School to TMP. Yes. So what you do is just say school CP school, then you now say TMP. You put slash to make it so that you know it's the command will know it's a directory. Okay, so let's go. Wow, it is done. So let's check, do we still have school here? Let's check if school is, let's list ls. So let's enter into this TMP and see whether we have school inside. or let's cats. Though we have not done cats, cats will help you to see what you have inside a directory. TMP, sorry, sort TMP. Okay, let's cd into it. TMP, like let's enter into it rather. LS, so you can see school. Let me go back so that you understand what I did. Okay, now I'm still in our working directory here. This current working directory. Okay, we have moved this school into this TMP. So for us to see what is inside this TMP, we need to enter into TMP. And how do we enter into TMP? By saying cd, changing our directory. Cd TMP. TMP is a directory, it's not a file. So you have to add slash. Then you say enter. You have entered into what? TMP. So to check what is inside TMP, just say what? LS. So now you have what? School. School is inside TMP. You can see it now. Hope you understand what I did.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you have been able to practicalize how to copy a command, a file into one another. So this is done. This is done. Let's go back to what we also have on the list. So we are asked to do to move a document. We are asked to move a document. How do we move a document? Let's check if we have any projects on moving a document. Rename this file. Yes, moving can help you to rename, and yes, this is move, and it can also help you to rename. So let's practicalize how to what? How to um how to rename. How to rename. Okay, let's see how to rename this file. Let's see how to rename this file. So how do we do that? Don't forget, MV will help you rename and also help you to what? To move. So let's do these two things. Change your working directory to this. We are still in this working directory. Okay. So then rename the file old school to new school. How do we do that? We first of all need to create old school, or let's check. But you have to first of all create old school file. You know, touch is used to create it, and new school. So let's check whether we have old school and new school. LS. Okay, let's.
Your screen.
Yes. So let's go outside. We want to go outside this directory, this TMP. Let's go outside this TMP. CD dot. We are out now. We are back into the real directory where we are meant to the slash root directory. Let's check, let's confirm whether we are still in it. So you see we are still in it here. So now we are being asked to what? We are being asked to create, to rename this. So let's first of all rename this file to what? New school. So how do we do that? Let's first create this file, old school. Let's copy it now. Say old school. old school.
Share your screen again.
So um how do we create that file? Just hit touch. I think somebody's trying to come in. Okay. So just say touch. Just say touch. Okay. What's the name of the file? Old school touch. So let's create it first. Old school. So we have created that touch old school. Now let's now change. They said look at it. That means this does not exist. It's only this that exists. So they say then rename this old school to what? New school. How do we do that? Let's check whether old school have been created. LS. Let's look for old school. This is old school. We have new school here.
Share your screen, your screen.
Old school has been created. We have new school there already before. Let's remove this one. Let me remove it. So let me check whether it has been removed. Okay, we don't have new school. Now we have only old school. They say we should rename. How do we do that? By saying mv old school old school old school to what? New school. Old school, new school. So let's check whether it has been renamed. That's how to do it. Just say mv old school, then you now give space new school. So automatically it will override it. Just watch. Let's check ls. So now you see that before here we have old school that is here. It was old school that we have here. Now we have what? New school. Hope you get the logic. So that is how to what? To rename. The mv is used to rename and to what? To move. So automatically you have renamed it. So let us go to our Google Doc and mark this. Okay, we also have remove now. So here rm is used for remove. rm is used for remove. They said we should what? The next project. They said we should what? To move. Then change to this current working directory. Then move the file not here to tmp. So let's create this file. We'll now move it towards this file. So we have to create this file. so that we can move it to this file. So how do we do that? Let's create this file. It's a file. What do we use to create a file? Touch.
Sir, please, your screen.
Yes, I'll do that. Touch, not here, not here. So touch, let's check whether it has been created. Not here has been created. So they say we should move it where? tmp/write school. tmp/write school. How do we do that? Just say mv not here tmp let's first of all create we want to move it into this directory. This tmp is a directory, so we have to create it first of all. So, or we don't need, just say not here to slash tmp slash write school. Write school. There's a mistake here. Write school. So let's do that. Let's check ls. See that not here is no more on the list. Can you see it?
Yes, sir. I can see it.
Okay. Not here is no longer on the what? On the list. It has disappeared and it has moved into what? These two directory, tmp write school. So we can just check by saying sort. Let's check what we have. tmp write school. So let's cd into tmp and check. Slash tmp ls. So you see it. Write school is here, and because it's a file we can't see it, but it is inside because we moved it into it. So that is that. Let's go to the next project, the next command. Remove. We want to see remove command, how we can remove things. So what should we remove here? Let's inside this directory, let's remove school. We have school in this directory. How do we do that? just say rm school. School is gone. Let's go out cd of this directory. Let's check what we have here, what we can remove. Let's remove my. Rm is a file. My. Let's check whether we still have my. So you see my is gone. My is gone.
See me, sir. Can you remove a directory, like the entire
Yes, we
directory?
are still going to that. We are still going to that.
Yes.
So now let's see what we have on the list. This is done. Now we want to make use of making a directory. How can we make a directory? How can we make what? A directory. Here they say we should create a directory. School is amazing. Inside this working directory, we are still in this working directory, but we have to check. Then create a directory. School is what? Amazing. So how do we do that? Let's check whether we are still in the current directory by using what? pwd. We are still,
So please, your screen.
yes, we are still in it. We are still in it by using pwd. So we want to create a directory. Okay, we want to create then create a directory. School is what? Amazing. So how do we create it? By saying mkdir, make a directory. What's the name of the directory? School is amazing. So let's make it. Okay, it exists already. Let's check. Yeah, it exists. So let's assume it doesn't exist. Automatically it will just come here just the way it is. So we already created this file before long time. So that is how to create a what? A directory. Can just form.
Okay.
Let me form any other directory. Make mkdir love. So let me check ls. You see that love is there now. So that's how to create what? A directory. So that's how to create a directory. So the last one, and not the least, is to what? Make a directory. How to make a directory. How do we make a directory? Let's look for a project on that. Was that the last project? Okay, to be,
I think that's what you
yes,
did just now. Now.
I think you're talking about making a file, not make a directory.
yes, it is to remove a
Yes,
directory.
it is to remove a directory. Okay, remove a
Yes, please,
directory.
yes. So to remove a what? RM. So what directory are we removing? Sometimes when they say you should remove a directory, you must first of all create the directory before you remove it. They say then remove the directory, empty directory. Before you can remove something, the thing must be existing. So right here, we don't even have it on our what? On our directory. There is no what? There's nothing like empty directory. So we have to first of all create it. Some will be confused that they say we should remove it, but this thing is not there. So first of all, make the empty mkdir 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 to make a directory. So what's the name of the directory? Empty directory. Empty directory. So let's check whether we have made it. ls. So you see it is there now, empty directory. So now the question is, then remove the what directory. Change your working directory to this. They are not going to tell you create and remove. No, remove is now left for you to know that you have to first of all create. So they now say we should remove what? Empty directory. What do we use to remove it? Is it rm that we use to remove it? Who can tell me what are we going to use to remove this empty directory?
I think it's not. I think RM is for file.
So we
Right?
are going to use. We are going to be using rmdir. That's remove directory.
Sir, please your screen.
So we are going to be using what? rmdir to make to remove a directory, not a file. So this is only used to what? To remove a directory. And how do we do that? Just say what? The name of the file. What is the name of the file? Empty directory. Empty directory. Enter. So let's check whether we still have empty directory. So you see that empty directory is no more there. Love, let's remove this love. How do we remove it? rmdir, love. So let's check whether love is still there. See that love is no more there. So that is that for this today's command. That brings us to the end of this class, this section. We'll continue tomorrow. We still have other things we will need to navigate on, a lot of things, so that everybody can do a lot of practicals and have hands-on whatsoever. You'll be given a project today, so make sure you watch previous videos so that you can do your project. So once again, we'll have to call it a day. Let's clear the screen. Do you have any question before I clear the screen?
No,
Please,
no,
anybody
sir.
with question?
Yes, yes, yes,
You
yes.
can ask.
So touch is used to create an empty file, right?
What do you say?
Touch is used to create an empty file, not empty directory, empty file.
There's noise. Please come again. I didn't hear you.
Touch is used to create an empty file, not
Yes,
directory,
yes, yes.
right?
Touch is used. Touch is used to create an empty file. File, not five. File. Touch is used to create an empty file.
File,
Yes,
FIL is a file, right? Yes. Okay.
File. So touch is used to create an empty file. So that is it. Any other question?
Hello?
Yes, I'm with
Hello?
you. You can ask.
We can
So,
hear you.
so many terminal I see, whenever I see the color code, that directory, right? Whenever I see the color code, because it's not all codes that are blue now, this is all the blue. One of my system is full and blue fingerprint is yellow. So I saying you can see yellow in the directory, then you can see white in the
Yes,
file.
because we are still dealing with
Yes, because we are not dealing
files and directory for now. So I would not want to go to the other colors. So, but for now, we are talking about the what? The blue color, which is directory. This is it. This one is directory, and this one is what? File.
yes, so, yes, so what I'm asking is, anywhere I see blue color or any other color, can it be also another color? Can it be yellow or it's always blue?
It's always blue. Though sometimes the configuration of your system, but it is always blue. It is always blue, unless the system has been reconfigured.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, thanks.
So, do we have any other question?
No? No,
So,
no, sir.
we should call it a day now. I will drop the videos. You can as well go back and watch. We'll drop the video of the previous class. So, thank you. It's nice having you all here, and do have
Thank you very much,
a
sir.
wonderful
Thank you
yeah
very much.
yeah
Thank you very much.
and do have a wonderful
Nice, sir.
night. Good night, goodbye, bye everybody.